Hi guys, welcome to another audio video elaborating 2 Kings 6 of the King James Version Bible. And it reads, And the sons of the prophet said unto Elisha, Behold, now the place where we dwell with thee is too strait for us. Let us go, we pray thee, unto Jordan, and take thence every man a beam, and let us make us a place there where we may dwell. And he answered, Go ye. And one said, Be content, I pray thee, and go with thy servants. And he answered, I will go. So he went with them. And when they came to Jordan, they cut down wood. But as one was felling a beam, the axe head fell into the water, and he cried and said, Alas, master, for it was borrowed. And the man of God said, Where fell it? And he shewed him the place. And he cut down a stick and cast it thither, and the iron did swim. Therefore he said, Take it up to thee. And he put out his hand and took it. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel, and took counsel with his servants, saying, In such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, Beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him, and warned him off, and saved himself there not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, Will ye not shew me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king, but Elisha the prophet, that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. And he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots, and a great host. And they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes, that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord, and said, Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. And Elisha said unto them, This is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom ye seek. But he led them to Samaria. And it came to pass, when they were come into Samaria, that Elisha said, Lord, open the eyes of these men, that they may see. And the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. And the king of Israel said unto Elisha, when he saw them, My father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? And he answered, Thou shalt not smite them. Wouldest thou smite those whom thou hast taken captive with thy sword and with thy bow? Set bread and water before them, that they may eat and drink, and go to their master. And he prepared great provision for them. And when they had eaten and drunk, he sent them away, and they went to their master. So the bands of Syria came no more into the land of Israel. And it came to pass, after this, that Ben-hadad, king of Syria, gathered all his host, and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 of silver. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor, or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son, and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son, that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. Then he said, God do so and more also to me, if the head of Elisha the son of Shaphat shall stand on him this day. But Elisha sat in his house, and the elders sat with him. And the king sent a man from before him. But ere the messenger came to him, he said to the elders, See ye how this son of a murderer hath sent to take away mine head? Look, when the messenger cometh, shut the door, and hold him fast at the door. Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him? And while he yet talked with them, behold, the messenger came down unto him and said, Behold, this evil is of the Lord. What shall I wait for the Lord any longer? Alright, guys. So we see a lot of things happening within this chapter. And we see that God had indeed endowed Elisha with power. Okay, so we see here where cannibalism is basically taking place because of the famine that was in Samaria. We see also not only that, but the fact that a great thing was done, being that kindness was shown. And I think that was the best thing there was, because they went to Elisha to take Elisha. We do not know if they were going to kill him, but based on the tone, I would think that that was the plan of the king of Syria, Ben-Hadad, when he sent for him. Okay, because he wanted to know, why is it that all their plans, the king of Israel knew all their plans, and so he wanted obviously to get rid of Elisha. But Elisha did not do unto them as they basically wanted to do to him. He asked the Lord to open the eyes to, he asked the Lord to take away their sight. So they could not see who he was, they could not see anything. And he led them into the midst of Samaria, and they could have killed them in Samaria, but they did not. Instead, he told the king of Israel to give them food and water and to send them back to their king, Ben-Hadad. And with this great kindness, they sent them back, and there was peace for a while. They did not return to the land. That was what was said. They did not return. But we see where later on, where Ben-Hadad went and besieged, or basically he went and captured Samaria, right? And during that time they had drought. But guys, we see sometimes from this what I see from this chapter, the most important thing is that sometimes the best way to settle an issue or a matter is not to fight fire with fire, but to actually be a negotiator, to be someone that will actually be peaceable in the matter and not strive to stir up war and strife, but to bring about peace. And I encourage you to be that peace when that time arrives, because there will be a time for war. There's a time for everything under the heavens. Even God himself have told people to kill people from time to time. He sent the children of Israel to kill and to run out all the inhabitants of the land of Canaan and all the lands on the other side of Jordan, whence from when they came out of Egypt. And not only that, he told them to kill many a times people who were worshippers of false gods, people who actually offered up their children as sacrifices. So we see that the Lord will indeed tell us to kill at times when the need arises. And we remember when they were in the wilderness still, and the Lord, I don't know why his name's not coming to me right now. I don't know why his name's not coming to me right now, but he was very angered at the fact that some of the men went against God, and he brought in one of the women of the land, which God told them that they should not marry and they should not have relations with the women of the land. And he brought that woman into the camp, and he killed that woman because of his anger that this man had blatantly disobeyed God's rules. And God rewarded him accordingly. So there will be a time of peace and there will be a time of war. We know that the Bible speaks of that. There's a time for everything under the heavens, right? There's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes that is why we need the Lord's guidance to know when it is a time for peace and when it is a time to for war. And so sometimes we need to pray for God to let us know, and we need to have that spirit of wisdom also and discernment, so that we will know how to differentiate between those times when we need to be at war and those times when we need to act peaceably with others. And here we see Elijah had acted peaceably with the men that came for him in that thought. That's it. Dothan. So, guys, just keep that in mind. The fact that you need to ask for a spirit of discernment so you can discern when it's a time to act peaceably and when it's a time for war. Okay? Alright, guys, I'm going to leave you right there. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification so you're alerted so whenever a new audio video is posted. And guys, please remember to leave your thoughts, your comments, and your revelations down below in the comment section. Continue to walk in your salvation, and if you've not yet gained it, then seek it. There's no better time to begin than the present. Have yourselves a blessed day. Bye.